Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, June 3rd, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is my mind supports my evolution revolution. And today we have Mercury direct. Hooray! Now let me say that just because Mercury is going direct today does not mean that the shenanigans stop. We have the post-retrograde, some people call it the retro shade, that happens now. To be fair, what happens during any retrograde process, the pre-process, the during process, and the after, is basically a planet going over the same few degrees. And so it's just pushing these lessons, kind of like how a yod is like, hey, this is important. The planet going over, some certain degrees a few times is like, hey, have you gotten the lesson? This lesson is going to serve you. And where we have Mercury going direct is actually right where we had one of our eclipses in this last eclipse season. And this energy is also preparing us. Mercury also is retrograding in the sign of Gemini. That's where it began its retrograde. And we're going to have a big Mars retrograde go through the sign of Gemini later. So there's a lot packed into this retro shade as we go over these lessons one more time through the last few degrees of Taurus, reviewing our values, feeling strong, at least mentally, in regards to our values, being able to mentally even understand the values we have. That might actually be a really huge piece. Do you understand your values you have, or do these values have true roots for you, or are these values that have been instilled by others? Being aware of that definitely can support our forward momentum as we move forward with Mercury now direct. So technically Mercury is going direct at 1 a.m. You will get Mercury mischief through the shadow period. I think it's through, I believe it's the 13th. Let me check my cheat sheet. It's been retrograde since May 10th, and I believe the shadow goes through, looks like I have June 18th here. So, we've got a little time to review these lessons, to have more of the shenanigans. For most people, I've heard this has been one of the more technology challenging Mercury retrogrades they've been through. And I will say, we've definitely had some interesting things over here. Besides this, we have Saturn going retrograde actually tomorrow. And Saturn will be retrograde all the way through the 23rd of October. Now, I'm probably going to come on and do a video, but just in case, right now, unless it's going retrograde directly on something for you. Let's see, what degree is that? 25 degrees Aquarius. Unless you have something directly 25 degrees Aquarius or 25 Leo, 25 Taurus, Scorpio, then chances are, you're okay. You're not necessarily going to feel this. But again, it's a review. It's going to be a review of these degrees in Aquarius. With Saturn in Aquarius, the review to me, the biggest review, is checking your vibrational and frequency alignments. While in traditional astrology, Aquarius is about community and friendship and concept, or context, where your place in the world. I always feel like Aquarius really does involve the airwaves, the frequencies, the vibrational energy that we tune into that does rule so much of our world. So bringing awareness to that with this retrograde, bringing awareness to your responsibility of the frequency, of the vibration that you bring to your life, that you bring to the world. And that goes hand in hand with the mind. So this is also going to be working with this Mercury direct energy. It's interesting because Mercury, where it's going direct, is directly square Saturn. So my thinking is, there's no mistakes, there's something vibrational and mental that we're going to be wanting to look at as these energies start moving apart from each other, as one goes retrograde and one goes direct. Besides this energy, we have the moon today finishing up in Cancer, moving into Leo. The finishing up in Cancer is in the earlier morning hours. The moon will move into Leo 11:38 a.m. Pacific time, it is going to be a void course moon morning. So be prepared for slowdowns, delays. This makes sense too with Mercury going direct. The moon and Pluto will be connecting in the morning. There's going to be an opposition. So again, morning may have some tests for us. It may have some challenges. There may be some energy around that we're feeling around control, power outside of ourselves. So be aware of that. It will pass, but it could be slightly stormy initially. Moon moving into Leo will form a trine with Jupiter in Aries. Definitely some fun for this weekend, but it can get fiery. As always, be very aware of that. I do have the intensity card, and this is the Knight of Wands. Sorry, pulling down the words today is hard. It's the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is like taking action. It's not always like looking before you leap. I always suggest you look. I always suggest you tune into your higher divine guidance. Tune into your inner adult. Tune into your inner child. Inner child is going to get activated with that moon in Leo energy, and Jupiter is just going to expand that. Check your ego, because egos definitely could get very flared in this energy. I do have some beautiful cards, though. This might be more for the water part of the morning. I have the Dream card and Laziness card. This may be about the moon connecting to Neptune. This really could be dream time. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to what your dreams are actually seeding in your consciousness at this time. Then we have the Integration card, which is fire and water, right? And so finding the blend between what creativity was seeded, what was seeded in dream time, and then what you're being called to act upon in the light. The final card we have is Success card, Eye of the Tiger. Keep your values, keep your responsibilities in your mind's eye as you are taking the fiery inspired action moving forward. So, gonna leave that here. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.